hope you're all having a good day. Sorry if that was really loud. It was just tilted. Today we are working on using customary units of measure. We talked about this earlier in the year. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is not an easy unit. If you're struggling with this unit, don't get too worked up. This is a tough unit. This is tough for a lot of people, tough for me. Measurements in general are usually pretty tough. The reason that is because you kind of have to convert units. The first thing that we're going to talk about today is just a little bit of matching units, what units are going to be best. And we're going to talk about converting units, and I think this is one of the most useful skills that you will learn this year in math, but it can also be one of the most challenging. You'll see that this will have a lot of implications in your life, converting things from feet to inches, trying to figure out different heights, different weights, stuff that you probably do almost every day. All right, so first thing, I have this little template here for you. This should be on your homework as well. I believe I put it on there. So you can take a look at that if it's on your homework. We are going to talk about starting nice and easy with choosing some units. Some stuff you might be more familiar with. So basically we have three different categories. We have length, capacity, and weight. Length is something that you know. That's going to be our distance. That's going to be measuring height, measuring width, things like that. Capacity is how full something gets. So if I'm holding out my hand, how much water can it hold? This water bottle, it has a capacity, it can hold so much. And then finally, weight, that's going to be your ounces, your pounds, your tons, things you've probably heard of before, how heavy something is. So I just have 3 examples to start here, and we're just going to pick one for each. So within them, there's different categories, and we'll talk about those in a second. So we're going to start with picking the weight of a truck. So we have 3 different options here. We have ounces, we have pounds, and we have tons. They told us down here that 1 pound is 16 ounces. You all know about how much a pound is. I'm sure you know about how much you weigh. So you know that 1 pound isn't a whole lot. And a ton is 2,000 pounds, so 2,000 of those. The average person is somewhere between probably, the average adult is somewhere between probably 100 and 200 pounds, I would say. So we know about how much that weighs. So if we're thinking the weight of a truck, we know it's going to be more than a person. So the best way to measure this wouldn't be in ounces, because those are going to be pretty small. We know those are smaller than a pound. So we're probably going to measure these in tons, because we're thinking 2,000 pounds. Yeah, this is probably at least 2,000 pounds. A truck is really heavy. It probably weighs as much as 10 people does. So for this, we are going to choose to use tons. Now we're looking at length of a hallway rug. Okay, we're on the length. We got different things. We got inch, foot, yard, mile. You all know how much a mile is. That's not going to be something that's going to be able to measure a rug. A yard, okay, maybe yard is, let's see, it tells us right here, 1 yard is 3 feet. That might not be so bad. Feet is 12 inches. You all know how much a foot is. You've done that since you were in elementary school. I would say there are 2 decent options for this. You could maybe do inches if you wanted to. If you're getting really specific about your rug, I would say the best 2 options here would either be measuring in feet, measuring it by the foot, or the yard, depending on how big the rug is. A yard is just going to be 3 feet, so if it's a big rug, 3 times as big, might be worth using a yard. And finally, we have capacity of a hot tub. We have different examples for this. We have a fluid ounce. That's going to be a very small amount. That's about 2 little drops of water. Oh, excuse me, more than 2 drops. I think they estimate it to be 12 drops, I believe. I don't know exactly. A certain amount, not a whole lot. And then we have a cup, which is going to be 8 fluid ounces. 1 cup. That's going to be probably as much as, here, actually my water bottle has all these on them, I believe. Nope, just kidding. They just have ounces. Oh, so they have ounces on here. So right here, that filled up that far is 4 ounces. So you can think 1 ounce is probably about 1/4 that. That's half it. So probably that much. My water bottle would be 1 ounce. And we know that our 1 cup is going to be 8 fluid ounces. So right here, that would be 1 cup of water. We're trying to measure a hot tub. That's not going to be enough. A pint is going to be 2 cups, so double the amount of 1 cup. And a quart is going to be worth 4 cups. And our gallon is going to be worth 4 quarts. So right here, 4 cups would be 8 fluid ounces each. That would be 32. This is 32 ounces right there. So this is a quart. This is not going to be enough to fill up a hot tub. You're going to need a lot bigger than that, so you're probably going to want to use gallons here. It's just a little estimation for us just to practice. Take a look at some of these different measurements before we dive into the tough stuff. All right, our big thing today is we're talking about converting units. That means we're going to change one unit to another unit. For example, we're going to change from feet to inches. You all know that 1 foot is 12 inches. That's something you've known for a long time. It's going to be easy for you to convert. If I told you we were doing 3 feet, you could change that pretty quickly into inches, knowing that all you have to do is multiply that by 12. And you would get 36 inches. But there's a little bit more math behind it than just that. So we here found our conversion rate, and we knew that our conversion rate was for every 1 foot that was 12 inches. So what we really did is we did 3 feet times 12 inches to every foot. And we set those up as a fraction. We multiply those across, and we could get 36, because 1 times 1 is going to be 1 on bottom. 3 times 12 is going to be 36 on top. So we had 36 inches to every 1 foot. So basically, you need to know these conversion rates. There's some that you know really easily, like I just said. You probably know your most common one you know is probably that inches to foot, foot to inches. Well, there's some tougher ones, and you will see those right here. I have an example that I put out: 10 quarts to gallons. We're trying to turn 10 quarts into gallons. We're trying to measure it in gallons instead of quarts. Well, earlier, if we look up here, I see that 1 quart, or 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. So for every 1 gallon, we're going to have 4 quarts. Okay, so there's my conversion rate. I found that. I'm going to start out with my 10 quarts right here. I'm going to set up as a fraction. 10 quarts on top, 1 on bottom, just because 1 goes underneath any big number like that. And we are going to multiply it. When we are multiplying these, your goal is to put whatever unit you have on top on bottom. That way they can cancel each other out. If I have this on top, this on bottom, quarts on top, quarts on bottom, we can cancel those out and we can get to gallons. For example, here, we had 3 feet on top, feet on bottom. We were able to cancel those out, and we were able to figure out how many inches it was, 36 inches. So we have our quarts on top, quarts on bottom. I don't want quarts here and quarts here. That's not going to help me cancel out. That's just going to keep me at quarts. So I made sure to put my quarts on bottom, gallons on top. From here, it's just a fraction. We're multiplying 10 times 1. You know you multiply your fraction straight across. 4 times 1, and we get 10 quarts times 1 gallon divided by 4 quarts. These, as I said, we can cancel these out. We have a quart on top, quart on bottom. They'll cancel each other out. And we are left with 10 over 4, which we can convert, simplify to 5 over 2. We know we figured out for gallons. So we got to 2.5 gallons if I make that a mixed number. I'm going to show you some more examples with this. I know this can be really confusing. I know your mind might just be blown right now. But this is called dimensional analysis, and this is a pretty elaborate subject. So I'm going to got 3 examples for us on the back here that we will use to practice this right now. So they want us to turn 14 ounces into a certain amount of pounds. We don't know how much that is, but we do know that we can find our conversion rate if we look on the back side. So we're thinking ounces to pounds. Well, right here they tell us 1 pound is 16 ounces. So I'm going to put that over here. 1 pound is 16 ounces. Okay, and now I'm going to start with my number over here. I got 14 ounces. I'm going to put 1 underneath it. I know I want to multiply that by my fraction. I'm going to multiply, and remember, in order to cancel out, you have to have 1 on top, 1 on bottom. So I have ounces on top right now. Do I want to leave ounces on top? No, I don't. In order to cancel out, I got to put ounces on bottom. So this is where I plug in my conversion rate, right over here. Bring that in, pop that baby in. I got ounces on top, ounces on bottom. Those are perfect. Those will cancel out. Put 1 pound on top. Now all we're doing is we're multiplying across, and we get 14 ounces times 1 pound over 16 ounces. And we have ounces on top and bottom, so we can cancel those out. Ounce there, cancel those out. And we are left with 14 over 16, which we can simplify down to 7/8 of a pound. We're left with that pound unit because we cancel out our ounces, and we're left with 7/8 of a pound behind. So 14 ounces is the same as 7/8 of a pound. Notice one more time, we got those ounces on top, ounces on bottom. We found our conversion rate first. We're going to do the same thing again here. we're going from 4 1/4 pounds to ounces. So I'm going to start by writing this as an improper fraction, because we know we're going to be multiplying our fractions. So I've read this as an improper fraction first. I got a few different options here. I can split this up into 4 full fractions plus the 1/4 plus our extra 1/4 right here. Or I can just do this and know that it's 4 times 4, which is going to be 16 over 4 plus that 1 extra 4th. And we're going to get 17/4 as our first half of our fraction, 17/4 pounds. And we're going to multiply this by our conversion rate. We have pounds on top right now, so we want our pounds to be on bottom. So last time we used this because we were converting from ounces to pounds. Now we're going to go from pounds to ounces. So I need to put my pounds on bottom, because remember, in order to cancel out, I need to be able to go top and bottom. I can't cancel out a fraction if it's all feet on top, or all pounds on top, all ounces on bottom. So I'm going to put my ounces down, or my ounces on top, and my 1 pound on bottom, so that I can cancel these out. I have a pounds on top, pounds on bottom. I'm going to be able to cancel those out when I put this all together. Multiply across. Here we go. Nice. We're going to get a 4 on bottom. And we're going to get 17 times 16 on top. Let me plug that one in quick. 17 times 16 is 242. And for the sake of time, I'm going to divide that by 4 on my calculator. And I got 68 on top, and that would leave a 1 on bottom. And we know our unit here is, we canceled out these pounds because there was 1 on top, 1 on bottom, left us with ounces. So 68 ounces is the same as 4 1/4 pounds. Notice one more time, our key was to get that top and bottom to cancel out. We found our conversion rate. That can be the trickiest part sometimes. We got one more example here. We're going for 3 1/2 yards, and we're turning it into feet. So I gotta find my conversion rate here. I'm going from yards to feet. Let's see where that is. Yards, 1 yard equals 3 feet. So I know that 1 yard equals 3 feet. That's my conversion rate. And I know I'm going from yards to feet, so I'm going to want my yards to be on bottom here, because right now I'm at 3 1/2. Let's first make this into an improper fraction. 2 over 2 once, 2 over 2 twice, 2 over 2 3 times, plus the extra 1/2, or we do 3 times 2, and we get 6 halves, plus the extra 1/2, and we got to 7 halves with yards on top. We're going to multiply that by our conversion factor. Right now we have yards on top, so I know I need to put this yard on bottom in order to cancel them out. So I'm trying to get to feet, so I'm going to have my 3 feet on top. Okay, now it's just a little multiplication game here. We got 21 on top, and we got 2 on bottom. We can cancel out the yards because we had 1 on top, 1 on bottom. And we're left with 21 over 2, which is going to be the same as, I know that means there is 10 whole fractions in there and 1/2 left. 10 1/2 feet. I know it's going to be a tricky subject. Trying to convert these, it's not easy to do. If you are struggling with this, I'd love to see you in my office hours. It's a lot easier to work on these if I'm able to have you in front of me. So I suggest if you're struggling with this, hop into that live lesson, hop into my office hours, and I can get you some help. This is a tough one. You got this, though. Believe in yourself. All right. Have a good rest of your day.